Okay, yeah. We have audio? Yes, thank you. Okay, let's do something. Let's start by connecting your feet, bringing your head top up to the highest point, breathing, bring your palms together to the center. There's a space between the palms. Relax your brow, open your vision, open your nostrils sideways. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Relax your jaw. TC used to say if your mouth feels watery, just saliva it with saliva. Don't spit, just swallow it. The Tai Chi classics also talk about saliva generation as being important to the Tai Chi practice. Relax your shoulders. Hollow the center. Open the space in the armpits. Use the center to support. Release your lower back. Fold the insides of the hips. The knees are bent. They're not straight. They're not locked. Flex your ankles. Pull your heel in. Activate your toes and the top of your feet, but relax the bottom of your feet. Take a deep breath. And let's just start with some Qigong. So breathing. So try to maintain all of the same ideas we had just talked about. Keep your back and neck straight. Keep your toes gripped. Keep your tongue connected to the upper palate. Check to see that you have a half smile as the minimum. For people that take this class, activating the corners of the mouth. Going at your own pace, do 3 more. You figure out where you like to stop, where the break is the top, the bottom. Allow your feet to touch, bring your hands back to the center, and then recalibrate. Pull the head top all the way up, relax the brow, open the vision, open the nostrils, activate corners of the mouth, the chin is tucked, the neck is straight from the mid-back, going up, lifting the base of the torso while we're breathing. And then hollow out the inside of the foot. Take a deep breath. Relax. Let's actually use the same posture to do some stretching. So starting from Tai Chi Harmony. When we do this one, by the way, your hips can turn, but you don't want to turn your knees. If your knee's turning, it's too much. So grip the ground on each side and imagine that your body is like a sponge, a small towel, a rag, something that you can twist. So relax your shoulders, relax your spine, relax your back. Breathing deep. If you reach your maximum inhale while you turn, increasing the stretch. For this one, you can make the breathing match the movement, but you don't have to if you like to turn longer than you're breathing. Turn at your own pace. And do 2 more, balance it out. When you come back to the center, relax. Today we are going to work on some second section stuff. So, and I don't like to spend a lot of time stretching today, so I like to get right to the Tai Chi, but with something in mind. My teacher one time in Westwood, I used to ask my teacher a lot of really absurd questions, and he looked at me and he said, "You can use the Tai Chi form for anything." And I found that to be a profound statement. So let's use the Tai Chi form now as part of our warm-up, both to get the breathing, to get the mind in the right place, to get the body open. So when you practice the form, when we start the form, we're going to do the first and second section, the whole thing for both in a row, but we're going to do that as our warm-up routine. So 80% effort, stay relaxed, because we're warming up, we're stretching. We don't have to think about, we're going to come back and do the form as doing the form, but we're going to use the Tai Chi form as an opportunity to stretch. So keep that in mind with your breathing, keep it relaxed with your body, keep it flexible. Unless there's questions, thoughts, comments, let's continue. So pick a space. By the way, before we continue, for teachers, I know there's other people teaching in the audience. For Mark, you may notice when we practice this form, I practice pretty much the same direction, the same time every week. And the reason is, for people learning, it's confusing enough if we start to change directions. So when we do the form, we'll pretty much be using the same type of pattern. So bring the head top up, relax the shoulders, sink the tailbone, Tai Chi harmony, connect the tongue to the upper palate, activate the corners of the mouth, lifting the bottom while we're breathing, and activating the feet. Open shoulder width wide for commencement. Breathing deep, right grasp the sparrow's tail. Square step. Left ward off. Make it a stretch. Relax. Left grasp the sparrow's tail. Square step forward. Right ward off. Breathe deep. Roll back to trap in. Turning, join the palms. This is squeeze. Push. Look left, glance right. Schwang an, double press, double push. Horizontal, split hands. Hook, square step, turn the waist, down in, single whip. turning north. First, there's a split, and then rolling up, rolling down. We're going to turn 90 degrees to the west. This is Bai Hu, Lang Si, crane, opening the wings. Press. Square step back. Crane, opening the wings number 2. Play the harp. Brush knee. Press. Brush knee. Twist step. Press to the center. Brush knee. Twist step. Press to the center. Holding the moon in the chest. Shift back. Square step forward. Punch to the center. Ban Lan Shui. Ban Lan Shui number 2. And number 3. Corner, looking forward, expanding in all directions. Focus power with a waist turn right to the center. Breathe deep. Rufo. Double press. Turning north. Return tiger to mountain. Bring your right foot, step to the T, step to the square, Xuan Sen, Kanshang. Breathe deep to roll back. Join the palms. Press. Push. Look left, glance right, double press. Horizontal split. We're facing east, hook. This is turn back to look at the moon. Left side, take as many steps as you need. Right side, spear fist, up to the center. Repulse the monkey. 1. Repulse the monkey. 2. We're stretching, so relax. Take a deep breath. Opening to the side, Sherfei. Shoulder bump. This is diagonal flying. Continue the circle. Needle at the bottom of the sea. San Tong Bei. Block, punch, kick, square step, Lan, just like the end of the first section. Shui. Looking forward, Di Bu Hua. Change step, roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands. We're facing north. Hook. Side whip. This is cloud hands. Right and left. Right, left, One more. Right, left, hook. This is a corner whip. We're turning our square to the west, waist turn, pat the high horse, reach, turn. We're going to turn 90 degrees facing south. Turn the body. Press, brush knee, C-step. Press, brush knee, straight step. Punch. Turn 180. Block. Punch. Kick. Square step. Breathe deep. Lan. Shui. This is called Zhou Hua. Kick. Da Li is big rollback. Step in to embrace tiger. Da Li, big rollback. It's actually stamped back to embrace tiger. Scoop the moon from the ocean. Kick. Brush. Air Feng Quan Air. Two winds going in the ear. Step back. Pull left. Left heel kick. Turn. 1, 2, 3, facing the southwest. Pull right. Right heel kick. Turning back, due west. Block punch kick. Lan. Shui. Second section ends the same as the first. Ru Feng. Sli. Turning to the north. This is embrace tiger. Return to mountain. Punch right. Punch left. Bring your left side back to the right. Take a deep breath. Okay, how do you feel? Lots of talking. Okay, if no one has questions, let's do the second section again. And just about that speed, we may be able to slow down a little bit. But maybe one thing that I find difficult, it's easy for me to feel like I can stretch out my upper body when doing the Tai Chi form, my lower body. Let's do one more stretch before we do official Tai Chi practice. Shoulder width wide, shoulder width deep. Fold the inside of the hip. Keep your back straight. Remember to breathe. Stretch out that leg. Turn the toe up. Either keep your neck fully straight or curve it up. Remember to breathe. Push up, step forward. Let's do the same on the other side. Sink the tailbone back. Reach. Push forward. And let's actually do another one for the legs. A lot of times when we fold at the waist, I have us keep the legs apart. This time, let's keep them together. If you're practicing at home and you have a question about balance issue, you can use wall, something to help. So grip the ground, push your tailbone back and away, relax your shoulders, relax your spine, relax your head and neck. On this one, we don't want to be looking up, so let all of that relax. And then, if you can take the back of your legs and sort of pull as if you're pulling yourself closer to fold yourself. Make your tailbone point directly to the ceiling. Remember to breathe while you're upside down. And then grip the ground as you're coming up. Remember to breathe. By the way, this exercise reminds me of one thing. If you have deficiency in one leg or the other, and you like to try to balance that out, Grandmaster Su used to say, the legs strengthen each other. So when they're close, so when you're strong, your legs apart like this. But if you have an injury, something is not correct. When you're standing in Tai Chi harmony, the legs increasing power by having the Chi next to each other, right? Let's do Tai Chi. Second section. Questions, thoughts, comments before we continue. All right. By the way, starting the second section, I think last week we started with the third section. And when I start, like I said, a lot of times from Tai Chi harmony, you can go right into turning body, warning palm. There's no sort of rule for how you do it. So, but when starting the second or third section, I start in the middle, right in the center. I don't start off to the side. So that's something that you see if you're learning the long form, the classical form, the map, the shape of it. But for now, start in the center. Start in Tai Chi harmony. Make your posture the absolute best that it can be. What is that? When I was young, people would tell me to stand up straight, but it wasn't until I met TC that he said, here's how to stand up straight. Activate your crown chakra. Is it being pulled up, or are you pushing up from inside in the center? Either way, this point on the top going up. Relax the top of your head and your brow. You can wiggle your eyebrows, wiggle your ears to get that skin feeling. Open your vision very, very big, and then just let it relax naturally. Open your nostrils. Expand your face so your breathing is more full. The line from the back of your head and the mid-back is straight. There's an arch there, the cervical arch. We want to have the feeling that it's going straight up. Relax your chest, relax your shoulders, relax the insides of your armpits, relax the insides of your elbows. The palms are connected at the base, but there's a space in between. This is not like some styles of yoga have where you're pressing the palms, trying to close that gap off as much as possible. And also, those styles, sometimes you're pressing inwards towards the sternum. This is resting here, and ultimately can rest on the xiphoid process. In fact, more advanced, if you see this space right here in the thumb, that energetic spot should be connected energetically to the xiphoid process. So pull the back of the head top up, relax your shoulders, hollow the chest, sink your tailbone as if your tailbone is heavy, sinking to the ground with gravity. Relax the insides of your hips. Your knees are bent, not locked, and you can forget about them. Feel the weight of yourself in your feet. Make sure your heel is in the right place. Pull it in, pull it forward. Activate the toes. One thing I don't talk about in this class a lot, I assume that it's inferred, is that we want to have a hollow feeling on the bottom of the foot. So sometimes I use the expression, pronounce the arch on the bottom of your foot. But whether we're practicing Tai Chi or not, if you're pulling up on the inside, this is an idea coming from Taoist culture. It says the window doesn't offer any protection but allows us to see out. And it says the emptiness of the mug is what makes it useful for holding tea, right? And the hollowness of the door allows us to pass. The same thing in the foot. When we make that arch, right, and especially if you can keep it relaxed, the chi can travel freely. So one analogy I used to use in Westwood, like a suction cup. Connect the tongue to the upper palate, lifting the base while we're breathing. Feet are activated all the time. And from here, I'm going to step shoulder width wide and go right into turning body, warning palm, as if I have finished return tiger to mountain, and I'm going right into my second section. Step to the T, from there, step to the square, relax the arms, press right to the center, breathe deep to roll back. We're facing south. Join the palms. My apologies to new people, this may be a little confusing. Push. Look left, glance right, double push, horizontal, split hands. I'm facing east, hook, turn back to look at the moon. Repulse the monkey 1, repulse the monkey 2, Dao Ming 3. Sherfei, diagonal flying, A, B, C, needle at the bottom of the C. Looking forward, keep your back, neck straight. San Tong Bei, block, punch, kick, square step, lan, shui, keep your neck straight, look forward, di bu hua, fold knees, shen bu li, change step, roll back, press, push. Look left, glance, look left, glance right. Double press, horizontal split, hook. Side whip. Right, left, plow hands, right, left, one more, yin xiao, cloud hands, hook, corner whip, turning my square 90 degrees to face west, Gao Pan Ma, stepping back, turning south, Gao Tan Ma number 2. Turn body, scoop, press, brush knee, C-step, press. This is Jin Bu Zai Shui, straight step, punch, turning, block, punch, kick, lan. Shui. Zhou Hua is nicknamed Bend the Bar. Right heel kick, big rollback. Stamp, embrace tiger, big rollback. Embrace the tiger. Left foot steps behind the right. This is scoop the moon from the ocean. Stepping square, 2 winds, going in the ear. Step back, pull left, kick left. 1, 2, 3 steps facing southwest again. Pull right, kick right, block, punch, kick, square step, lan, shui, Ru Feng. Si Bi. Turn to the north. Embrace tiger. Return to mountain. Block. Let gravity do the work. Return back to the center. How's everybody doing? If you have questions, thoughts, comments, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, go ahead.
I was just wondering if you could review the last movement after the last kick with the right, pull with the right, at the end of the second section.
Yeah. This is, people always, this is a challenging one. So, and let's do it, because the more we practice. So, if you're new, or you're practicing the first section, or you haven't seen this before, we're going to do some turning. But let's just do the footwork first. Let's just work on the direction first. So, where this is coming out of is after we have two winds in the ear, I'm facing southwest. And by the way, this end of the second section, I have a picture of it that I've drawn somewhere. The form kind of travels back and forth this way. And this section with Scoop the Moon from the Ocean and two winds in the ear, and this section that we're talking about right now, kicking, turning, and kicking, is all facing the southwest. So this is one little section of the end that kind of branches off, but then it goes back and ends sort of normally. So, so after we have big rollback to embrace a tiger, big rollback, embrace a tiger, Scoop the Moon from the Ocean is here, this one, right? Two winds in the ear. And so now my square is facing the southwest. And so what's happening in this, I'm going to show you the sort of two extremes of how you can practice this posture, and it may help you understand the meaning. Is after I'm here, my right foot steps back to be the defensive position. I'm sitting on that right foot. And now, the most basic way is you're pulling right and kicking right. Boop. Imagine there's a bell, and you need to pull a string to ring the bell, and this is the clapper. So, and that's what's happening is your opponent is coming in, and we want to make this loop, this circular loop, so that we can connect to their power and keep them from withdrawing from the top, right? If they're being let in, they see your foot, they don't want to get drawn in. So they're off balance, we kick them, right? That's the most basic. When you go to the competition, you want to show the judges that you have the best balance, better than anyone in the competition. When you step back, instead of just pull right, kick right, these two half circles, a half circle for the hand and a half circle for the foot, right? As we pull, we can transfer that opponent's, where we're connected to them, to the side, and do this kind of big fancy Tai Chi kick, right? You don't have to practice that way. You can. When you, after some months, years, you practice Tai Chi, very simple, but your balance feels good, so you try a little bit higher, and the next time, higher, and then later, power, right? So, from two winds in the ear, step back, grip the ground, pull, kick. What's next? Let's just walk. 1, 2. In 3 steps, I'm facing back to the southwest, except my left foot is the root. So these movements, we just saw earlier in the second section, Gao Tan Mao left and right at a 90-degree angle. So I'm here, I have Gao Tan Mao 1, and then I have 1, 2, 3, Gao Tan Mao 2. That's left, and we do the right side first. Let's see. Pull, step. I'm standing on my left foot to do the thing. Now this time I change. I'm standing on my right foot to do the thing. It's the same movement mirrored on the other side. that's what's happening. By the way, the names for these are very boring. It's Xuansen Fengjiao, or Dengjiao. It's a heel kick. So it means turn the body and kick with the heel. Let's practice. In fact, sometimes when I do the exercises, I change direction so you can see differently. So if I'm doing 2 wins in the ear, when I step back, I pull with my left hand and kick with my left foot. And then when I turn, I'm just taking 3 steps, 2, 3, and now I'm facing the same corner again. So these steps are kind of a Bagua style. In Bagua they have Kobu and Baibu, which are hook step, step that goes out and a step that goes in. So when we make this stepping, if we forget the hands, right? If I'm doing 2 wins in the ear, I step back, kick, take a big hook step. Then the right foot also hooking. And now the left foot hooks around, and now my square, my power, is aligned in this direction. And then I get right back, west, lan, shui, right? So that's the footwork. By the way, I teach this very specifically with Bagua inside of there. And Bagua is another martial art like Tai Chi based on the yin and yang symbol, a little different. So you may see some Tai Chi practitioners, after they do this, instead of stepping, they're turning. It looks very fancy, right? You go to the park and you see this, or sometimes people do it in the competition. The problem with it is in spite of looking good, my teacher would say, if somebody is there, I have an opponent, and I just try to turn in place, I'm going to get hit. Whereas, let's see if I have something I can use for an example, right? So here I have a fan, and we'll say this is the power where it's at, right? From 2 wins in the ear. When I step back to kick, it's here. The direction of the fan moving this way, moving in this direction. So if I just twirl in place, I'm going to get hit. But if instead of staying on this line, I actually turn off of the line and then return back to it, my opponent starts to change his direction, his or her direction, right? My opponent changes. So if I don't turn, they're going to maintain their direction. So this one has a spiral in it. It's confusing. Let's practice. I will face this direction. We'll call this southwest. So if I'm here, I'm going to step back, pull left, kick left. When I go to do those steps to turn, I'm going to always be watching the direction my opponent came from. I'm going to cover my head, 1 step, 2 step, and then as I step around again, I'm going to open that defense to connect right, kick right, block, punch, kick directly west. Let's go again. So step back, pull with the left side, kick. 1, 2, 3, connect with the right side, kick with the right side, block, punch, kick. Let's go again. Step back, pull, kick, turn, 2, 3, pull, kick, block, punch, kick. By the way, let's talk a little bit about maybe we might refer to that as the frame or the style. If we were typographers and we like to study letters and writing, we might call that the font that we practice. If you just do a pull kick like this, if that's all the more your Tai Chi is, that's fine. It's very effective. If your timing is correct and the power is there, it's very, very painful to get kicked in the shin or the knee where this target is, very low target. Keep your balance. You should be able to deliver power and still maintain your structure. But this is, one time years ago, I had a student, was very old, had injuries, hip injuries, perhaps a replacement, I don't remember. And they said, there's no way I can do this, right? They're an older person. And they said, in fact, I'm concerned about doing this one. If that's the case, you can make that a step, right? If you, perhaps you're healthy, but you have an injury, you have some setback, you have some reason you can't, you can practice Tai Chi very simply, turning, without any of the, you don't need, you can practice any way that you like, right? It's still effective. Questions, thoughts, comments on those kicks? Yes, anytime you like.
I don't know if you have time for this, Brian, but I was wondering if you could review the details of block punch kick.
Yeah. Okay, so let's find it in the second section. Let's find, right? This, by the way, block punch kick is almost the same as holding the moon in the chest from the first section, except now we're doing it on one leg. So let's go back to the first section, right? After we have there's like a brush knee, C-step press, right? We assume that someone has connected to our wrist, right? We've done a press and they've attached. And so from here, we're going to use gravity shifting back to the rear foot to create the weight on that area, simultaneously using a waist turn, this cross-body power to attack the weak joints that are connected to our, right? So after the press, we shift back. And then from here, this left hand comes up to control the opponent. The right hand, think of your thumb as going right up the center of your center line, where the shirt line is, right? Is coming up the center, and we have block punch. This is holding the moon in the chest, right? So the martial arts meaning behind this is just this. If you look at the space right in front of my body, I can keep a very small space and still deliver a punch. Because if you get into a martial arts situation, when right, and when are they want to come up and get in your face, right? Like, be here. So you could just keep your hand here, and as long as it's here, you always have that space in front of you that you can either open, close, or send something through, right? So this is the for me, the sort of deeper, if you want to practice Tai Chi like you're doing the perfect font, you can always use the yin and yang symbol. In that case, the frame is going to be much larger. What I'm talking about is a type of self-defense, personal safety issue where somebody's right here and you need to do something to get away, right? You have this space and that you can pull this thing out of that space. That half circle or that arc is very narrow. But if we practice the form, we have this big circle here, right? And so what is it in the second section? Where is it located? Let's find out, right? I think after we do the second Gautama, we turn, press, brush, press. But it occurs, does it occur twice in the second section? But this is the same thing. In fact, I think Thomas has arrived. So in just a few minutes, we'll look at it. But the concept is very simple. Like I have two circles. And you can also think of this for boxers, people practicing sport boxing, right? Is they have like a little pear-shaped, what they call a speed bag, and they want to see if they can connect to it in different ways. So this is a very basic exercise you can do with a bag, right? Is cover, hit, cover, hit, cover, hit, cover, hit. And when you're dealing with somebody that's up close, as long as you can get their weapon covered and get your weapon in place, right? This is the most basic. So let's do the second section up until we find where that occurs, right? So let's start from the center. Bring your feet together, pull your head top up, take a deep breath, starting in Tai Chi Harmony. I'm going to open shoulder width wide. You can do a commencement, but you don't have to. Turning body, warning palm, breathe deep to roll back. Join the palms, press. We're facing south. Push. Left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook. Turn back to look at the moon. Spear fist. Repulse the monkey. 1, 2, 3. Diagonal flying. A, B, C. Heidi Zhang. Santong Bay. Here's this one. When I'm turning, my right hand is clearing something out of the way, blocking. My left hand is covering all the weapons. My right side is coming up through the center to block and punch. Then from there, square step, going to the next. And so the name in Mandarin is Fen Shen Pi Shen Shui, and it translates to block, punch, kick. By the way, if you don't have a copy of the names in English and Mandarin, it's not vital that you learn Mandarin. It is vital that you understand Tai Chi is a product of Chinese culture. We can't separate the culture from the experience. It came from something very specific. So when we look at crane opening the wings, the name for this in Mandarin implies something. It just says Bai Hu Liang Si. But if we understand the culture, we understand the Bai Hu is the crane. And the Liang Si is like spreading something, right? Spreading thing. Showing thing, opening thing, something like this, open split, right, Leah? But culturally, we see it's the crane. So, questions on block, punch, kick. Questions on whatever else we're doing. Okay, let's call that good, so I can take just a break between this class and the next class. Unless you have questions, thoughts, comments, let's close with some Qigong. So take a comfortable stance, breathing deep. Kind of the reverse of the Qigong we did earlier. We came up from the center. This time we're coming up from the outside. So imagine you're scooping all of the Qi, you're gathering it. I don't know if you like cotton candy or not, but it's spun inside of a machine. If you like cotton candy, imagine you're inside of a giant cotton candy machine. You can make it anything you want. Imagine you're inside a giant vat of your favorite ice cream, but you're impervious to the temperature. You can just eat all the ice cream. In this case, breathing. While we're breathing, try to keep all the same correct Tai Chi ideas. The tongue is connected to the roof of the mouth, lifting the base of the torso. And I want to talk about something as we're rolling into summertime, warmer months, warmer weather is coming. Remind you that you can regulate your body temperature through nose breathing. Even weather season dependent, if you have something that affects your body temperature, you find yourself changing from a very warm, cold environment, vice versa, breathing. And so let's practice that now. If you're warm from practicing Tai Chi, do longer inhales and faster exhales. So inhale slow, filling all the way up. And then when you exhale, don't force, just naturally. See if you can cool your body through your lungs. And this, like anything, is a practice. The more you practice it, the better you can get at it. So in this case, the Qigong, the movement, is raising the arms. The breathing is all through the nose, tongue connected to the roof of the mouth, and longer inhales, shorter exhales. And then what's on the mind is cooling the body. So this makes it an actual Qigong. And when you start to make that connection, then you'll realize you can start to open ventilation on the body. You can control how your armpit feels and the back of your knee. And some books will say you can even get to control your pores. Like a sponge in the ocean can open and close all of its pores. So if you have that type of body control, you can use it to both cool the body, or when you know it's cool, you can close off to conserve the body heat. Do just one more from wherever you're at. Breathing all the way in, and when you finish, return back to Tai Chi Harmony. Bring the head top upright. Sink your tailbone, relax your shoulders. Connect the tongue to the upper palate, half smile is minimum. See all the way to the horizon, beyond. From here, close your eyes part way, put your mind into the Dantian. Take a second first to inwardly smile to yourself. How you may feel about yourself may change day to day, but look at yourself. And then from there, from the inside, have a gratitude practice for anything and everything that you like. Have the body, the mind, the energy, the chi to heal yourself, to improve yourself, to become stronger. Take one long last deep breath. And that's it. Call text right. Let's meet back at